Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Tech-Tonic, the podcast. And I think this will be episode 11. Don't be surprised if you see something happening. So this will be episode 11. And our episode 10 is quite an interesting episode. You should check out, guys. It's a refresher. As we promised you on each and every 10th episode, we'll bring something new, something quite interesting. And our episode 10 is that episode for you. So today I've got another guest. She is quite powerful lady, according to me. You can check out after you watch this episode. I think she is really active within the tech spaces. She is really active. She is a developer, and I don't know if she is only a developer, but as far as I know, she is a developer, and I think she's doing well within the tech spaces. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Ruvimbo Mambinge.
Thank you for having me. I've been waiting for this day to be part of your podcast.
That's quite interesting. I think I want to know, like, what's your take on our podcast?
Okay, so far.
Be honest, please.
Okay, no, to be honest, I really do enjoy your podcast, because you notice not many people in tech actually come about to do podcasts. I believe like people in tech are always shy, and they are scared to let their voices be heard by other people. They are afraid of being judged. Yeah. But so far it's good, and actually you talk about the things that is currently happening on the ground. That is, it's either Starlink, it has to do maybe with other tech companies, and it's not only limited to local stuff, even globally. So it helps other people to keep up to date with what's going on in the world.
Yeah, we like to joke around with Kingsley, saying what we're doing here, we are documenting the technological history of Zimbabwe.
It's so cool. I think you guys will be like the first people to actually document it.
So I think we are really happy and to know that people out there are appreciating what we're doing. So anyway, to start with, I want to know, and probably the people out there who would like for you to share like your technological journey, like your journey in coding, and what has inspired you to become a developer, and how has your path shaped your career. I think it's quite a good thing if the people they know who we are talking to.
Okay, great. So Ruvimbo, as you know, older, so she's a developer. So how it all started is it started at high school, right?
Yes.
So computer science was one of my favorite subjects, and I used to do well more than the other subjects.
Yes.
So after high school, then I remember applying at NAST. So I wanted to do a degree in computer science, but then I got informatics. And then I was so worried. I'm like, what is informatics? I've never heard about this thing.
Yeah.
And I remember crying. Then my parents were like, no, just Google about it and see what it's all about.
Yeah.
Then I did my research. At first, even at school, we used to get different definitions of what informatics is, what it does. But I think with time, they got to understand it because it was actually new in the market, right?
Yeah.
So people later on got to understand it, what it does, and you can actually do many different careers in it. So getting attachment, doing something that involves informatics, machine learning, or data science was hard by that time.
Yeah.
So where I got for attachment, it was more of coding, Java, and front-end development using text like Angular and stuff like that. So thereafter, I started off with Java.
Yeah.
And I used to tell myself, no, I'm good at Java. But then I ended up having imposter syndrome, where I was like, no, man, this thing is hard. But I just felt like guys were doing it more better than a girl, right? Then I was like, so most of the girls were doing front-end development. Then I'm like, you know what, let me just join the girls. Let me do front-end. But then later on, I was like, no, man, I wasn't supposed to be afraid of trying out Java. Even now, I'm still, I'm trying to transition to try it out so that I can see how it is, because I don't have that imposter syndrome anymore. And I now have that belief in myself that I can now do this. I can do ABC. If I tell my mind, go do this, you can actually do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, over the years, I did coding. It was fun. It was a bit hectic. And sometimes you'd notice that you don't have your own personal life. Yeah, you're working from Sunday to Sunday. And then after that, I remember some people encouraged me to try to maybe speak or join tech events and stuff like that. And I used to tell them, no, I don't like talking in front of people. I'm a reserved person. I'm an introvert. I don't like this whole thing. I was afraid of being judged or even saying the wrong thing. And then I did try it out. And the first time I was like, okay, wow, I was nervous. Then after that, I noticed that, okay, it's not that bad. You can even get nervous like the first time before you even do anything or talk to people. But whilst you're now doing it, you'll notice, oh, yeah, it's smooth. People won't even notice your mistakes. You're the one who notices that you made a mistake in your conversation. But then later on, you'll be like, okay, nobody noticed it. So it actually helps. So far, sometimes I get invited to be a speaker at some tech events. And I also do tech writing. Once in a while, if I get time, then I blog about some cool thing that I discovered or something that I think people would need later on in life. Maybe someone may stumble on my article, then it will actually help them. I used to try to do reels, tech reels, but then I noticed, man, it takes a lot of time. How do you guys do it? The editing and all.
It's something else.
It needs time to edit and all that. But yeah, so far that's my journey, and I'm just aiming for a lot, and I just hope it works out. Yeah.
I like the way you explained it. And if you were to create an advert for this podcast, we'll just take you the intro. You really literally everything that I think we should talk about in this episode in a nutshell. I think you talked about imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
I know it's one of the challenges that many people have, and that this brings me to this thing that I wanted to know. What challenges have you faced as a woman in the tech industry, and how have you overcome them? And also, I think it would be good for for if you try to cook it up in a way that someone out there, a woman, a lady, who wants to get into this tech thing, who want to be a developer, like if they listen to this, definitely they will get motivated. So I want to know, what challenges have you faced? And I know you mentioned about imposter syndrome, like how has the environment treated you?
Okay. I feel like I believe currently things are actually changing when it comes to women. We're actually having more women in tech compared how it was way back. But then when it comes to us women, I think the most thing that kills us a lot is imposter syndrome. As I mentioned, the tech field is filled with males, male dominated.
I remember when we were at college, one of our lecturers actually mentioned that there are quite few ladies within like who do computer science, who do the tech degrees. But if you manage to see one, make sure you make sure she knows she's a hero.
Wow.
Yeah, he used to say that a lot. Was it's quite rare to see ladies who are in tech, and it's even quite rare. I mean, if it's rare, I mean that the comparative part of rare, to see the ladies at tech who are thriving, who are doing good things.
Yeah.
So I really understand when you're saying that.
So you see, it starts from school, right?
Yeah.
Uni. And you notice that sometimes us ladies, we get distracted in uni. You know, a guy will come and approach you. Now you have a boyfriend and you spend most of the time with the guy, then you don't focus on school. So that's another thing that kills. So when you start at school, one, you are distracted by a lot of things. The other thing, there's imposter syndrome, that guys seem to be doing better than girls.
Yeah.
But you won't notice that even guys, they're also putting extra work so that they can actually be good at what they're doing.
Yeah.
So as women, we just feel small and we're like, oh, but then I don't think I can do this. And then we don't even try to put effort in actually trying to achieve. And then the other thing is, even in the industry, we as women, we have to build each other, right? Yes. We have to support each other. If you see another woman doing something cool in tech, support them. If you know a way to help, maybe with job offers, help them. If they need help, maybe in learning how to code, let's just assist each other. Because if we don't do that, one of us will actually fall and we become few. But lately it has been improving. We are seeing a lot of women joining. We are seeing a lot of women doing great things. I do have so many role models when it comes to take up, like, wow, these girls are doing way better than me, and I'll be like really inspired to push. And we also have to put in the extra work, because it's not only the guys who are putting the extra work, they are also putting the extra work, but sometimes they don't show it or we don't even see it. But we'll be like, nah, this guy is just smart. Yeah, there are smart people, then there are people who put in the extra work. So we have to put in the extra work, believe in ourselves, actually go to different types of events. You meet other people, you network, you interact, and that's how you become better in your career or even in school and stuff.
Yeah, I get you. I think the last episode we had a guest. We highlighted that the podcast was turning into a motivational podcast more than it was a tech. This is one of the things. I think the message you're dishing out to the masses, it's so powerful, and it's a challenge to most of the ladies out there. You can do these things. You can actually listen to how she is narrating the story. It's not that hard. We can do these things. There's one thing that you mentioned, and you mentioned the issue you participate in tech events, these tech meetups, and I've seen you participating in a number of these things. Recently, I think there was it was Zindi something, I can't remember, but in our ex. Yeah, exactly. You were there. I think you were panelist there, something. Yeah. I think there was, if not mistaken, there was called. There was a Google AI something. Google extended AI. You were there also. Just to mention a few. You participate in a lot of these tech events and tech meetups. I think I want to know, like, how have these tech events and these code meetups influenced your career? And I don't know if it's possible you can share the key lesson that you have learned, and like that you have learned as a panelist, and the impact that you aim to bring to the audience during these discussions.
Okay, so how this has shaped my career, it's been amazing, because I remember when I started doing this, being invited to speak was actually under Data Science Zimbabwe. So through that, I actually got invited to even more events, and it's actually interesting because sometimes I'm like, no, I'm too busy, or no, I'm scared to do this. But you actually see people inviting you, and then that's when it clicks that what you're doing is making an impact in people's lives when it comes to tech. And it actually helps because we are giving out knowledge from what we learned and what we know. And through that, it inspires others to actually do what they want to do and achieve their goals. And so the when it comes to these events, like last time I was a panelist, right? So it helped in whereby I had to do my own research on you can't just go and talk to people. You have to understand what's going on in the tech, especially it was under responsible use of AI. So you have to understand more of what's going on in AI. You have to keep up to date with that, and you have to know that what you're giving to people is going to help them. Because you'll notice that sometimes people are like, okay, we have gained the information, and we also want to do the practicals, right? They want to implement that. So if you give them something, they actually go back, use that, and try to implement, cool tech stuff. And you actually see people designing. And then people would also approach you for advice. Maybe they want to take a certain career path. They'll be like, hi, can you help me with this? You actually give them advice. And I've seen some people, they'll be like, I managed to do ABC. And they'll be like, wow, really? It worked. And so, when you know that what you did by helping someone change someone's career or life, you'll be like, okay, wow, this is actually good. It gives you motivation to actually try to help people when you can, and it also helps you to actually grow yourself career-wise, because you don't have to be on one place. So each time when you go somewhere, you have something new that you're doing in your life, and it helps you to grow every day.
That's so powerful. So recently, like after the episode that you had in Nyamand, I challenged myself to participate in these tech spaces. So I actually applied for another tech space, but I can't even remember what's the name what's the name of the space. But I think if they approve what I wanted to present, I think people will see my first appearance in the public doing these things. So I just want to see how does it feel, and probably you never know. Maybe I will enjoy it and continue doing it. But I really like it. I think there was one of my bosses who once said to me, at this point in life, you need to have a cause for living. So you are a developer, but you need to have a cause for developing. So whatever you're doing, make sure there is a cause for the greater good of the masses of Zimbabwe. So for this podcast, we decided to, like when we started, mostly that was the cause, but we didn't even know that was the cause. Like we need to do this thing for the masses of Zimbabwe. But the main thing that we started this podcast was to try to bridge the gap between the people who understand tech and those who don't. Like, we want to make the people on the other side of the bridge understands how easy these things are, and to understand the basic things behind all these technologies. And I believe if you manage to do this, if you manage to bridge this gap, we are actually opening a gate or a way for the masses of Zimbabwe to accept a number of the technological products that are built for Zimbabweans. So this is our cause, and you had the head cause for participating in these tech spaces. It's actually for the greater good of the masses of Zimbabwe. Anyway, I know you are a key figure within Afrocodemy. So I think I want to know, I think there are not a lot of people, even those who are in tech, who know about Afrocodemy. And I think it would be a good thing. I think all the listeners in this podcast will act as ambassadors. I'm pretty sure they'll talk about this with their relatives. Anyway, I want to know, what is Afrocodemy? And I don't know if you are able, but tell us what's inspired its creation, and also could you explain us to the mission and the goals that Afrocodemy is aiming to achieve.
Okay, so Afrocodemy is a tech academy, right? Okay. So it covers from students.
Yeah.
You know, they say there's the phrase "catch them young."
Yeah.
Yes. So we try to.
Apparently, we are busy. My fellow guys know what it means.
So we're trying to catch the younger ones.
Yeah.
And also it covers tertiary, and also people want to maybe upskill and stuff like that, who are in the industry and all.
Yeah.
So the good thing about Afrocodemy is they are learning, it's actually flexible. So you can even learn from home wherever you are. And so Afrocodemy, we are bringing about the standard, or should I say world class tech items that are happening, right? So our main goal is we check what's happening, like in the tech, like which languages are mostly needed, right? Okay. So you notice there's Java, there's AI, there's data science, there's all that, right? Yeah. So we give it out to the people, or should I say to the students, and then after that they can actually learn at their own pace, flexible time. We even do lessons. If you want to do lessons at night, maybe you are just coming from work and you're like, oh, I've got a lesson at 8. You can actually have your own lesson at 8, with your own tutor. So you can either have like a public whereby it's an entire class, or it's just a private one-on-one tutoring. Maybe
one-on-one, not you, Chichi.
Yeah, so when it comes to Afrocodemy, the main goal is to bring about tech, so that people have like a better understanding of what's going on. Because you might notice that there are a few people who might be interested in doing tech and stuff like that. Yeah. And there are some people be like, okay, I did this, but then I don't know how to use it. Where am I going to get a job and all that? Mm-hmm. So one other thing that differentiates Afrocodemy is that once you actually do your course and you pass and you're good, we actually try to help you fit in the industry, help you get maybe a job or something, so that you don't stay idle or have a fear, okay, I did this, but I don't even know where to use it. Yeah. So it's an academy, it's under Afrosoft Holdings. So currently we have a couple number of students. I'm currently tutoring. So I'm currently tutoring a child who's in doing Form 1, right? And so far it has been so good. You actually see they learn faster, and they are really eager to learn, like, okay, I want to do this.
And they're not doing it for the money. Like, I think that's a big difference.
Yeah, it's a big difference, because I do it like over the weekend. I know I have stuff to do over the weekend, but then I try to sacrifice. I'm like, no, I want this child to learn. I want this child to gain knowledge. Because, guys, the world is evolving. It's mostly going to be tech.
Yeah,
so at least if you catch them young to actually, bloom into something beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned something when you said after someone is done with the learning, you channel them and try to look for a company or a place for them to work. So I wanted to know, like, what's what makes Afrocodemy stand out from all these programming platforms? But I think you just highlighted that one thing.
Yeah.
Do you have another thing that you wanna highlight also, so that people actually know the benefits of using Afrocodemy to do all these certificates or to do all these studies? And I don't know, to give certificates after that. If you give certificates, are the companies in Zimbabwe recognizing them? How are they treating like that kind of a thing?
Okay, so we do offer certificates. So after you're done, you actually get your certificate and they're actually recognized. And what makes us stand out, another thing maybe that makes us stand out, is we're not locally Zim, but we're also like international, right? So we also target people outside of Zim, and they don't have to come all the way from wherever they're coming, like Zambia, and come to Zim. No, we can actually offer online lessons whereby it's actually easier for you. You don't have to like travel and all that. And even if you don't, let's say you're too busy to actually have maybe a one-on-one, you can actually have old videos for that, and then you can go through them, do assignments, they get marked, they get checked and all that. And when it comes to projects, we don't do like the ordinary projects. Maybe, for example, they'll be like, create a
library system.
something like that. We want like real world projects, so that you actually gain experience. So that when you're done and you get a job. So we do try to give our students real world projects, so that the minute you go into the world or into the industry, you actually have an idea. You don't start from like scratch. I noticed when I went to, after uni, or should I say on attachment, the things that was happening at work and the stuff I had learned was a bit different.
Yeah,
so here we're trying to like cover that gap, right? And also when it comes to people who are upskilling, they're actually upskilling so that if they apply maybe for another job, or they are upskilling so that they can use what they have learned currently where they are working. So it's just in a way of trying to improve people, of trying to get better options, and
yeah. So I think I'm now an advocate for Afrocodemy. This is something different. When we hear of all these online learning platforms, we just think of the Udemys, the Coursera's, those things. Anyway, I'm not advertising about Coursera and all these things, but I'm just giving an example. So you just think, it's actually the same thing, but this is a quite different perspective to approach this whole thing. I think people should check out the Afrocodemy. And I think I saw something there about a bootcamp, Java bootcamp. I think you might need to check that. You might need to check out that if you really want to be a Java developer. And
Java is actually becoming one of the top.
To be honest, I think in Zimbabwe it's one of the most used languages, and I feel like probably in the world. I think I'll have to check out the states for this thing, but in Zimbabwe I think it's one of the quietly used programming language. And if you want to be a back-end developer, I think that's the way to go. So you have to check out their bootcamp. I think it would be quite good for anyone who wants to be a Java developer. Yeah, there is something that you mentioned when you're in telling us about yourself. When you said sometimes you're not having, you end up not having your personal life. Yes. I think I want to know, like, I am a developer. I know how hectic it is, and how time consuming it is being a developer. I think I want to know from you, like, and even someone who inspires to be a developer, someone who inspires to be like you. I think from now on you'll be a role model for quite a number of people. So someone who wants to be a developer, how do you balance like your work and your personal life? And I think I'll start by that.
Okay, balancing, guys, I struggle. I struggle. There are times whereby you actually get absorbed into your work, and you even forget to eat. Okay, there are days I used to work from home, and then I'll just wake up in the morning, do my stuff, then I sit down on my machine. I forget it's actually lunchtime. I'm just coding throughout. Then later on, I'm like, and Sunday. Then so then the other thing is when you work, then you try to take maybe extra work because you're trying to learn something. And you know that if I do this, it'll improve my CV. Then you notice you have to do it over the weekend, right? But then you notice I'm still young. I need to go out there, have fun. Then true. I'm like, your friends will be like, oh, let's go there. I'm like, nah, I gotta work, man. I gotta work. So one thing I've learned is if you do that, there's too much pressure on you. You might even get into depression because you're trying to achieve something and you're trying to put in a lot of work, focus on something. You don't even have time for yourself, so you end up maybe getting depressed about something and stuff like that. So one thing I would advise is when it's knock-off time, it's knock-off time. If you knock off at 5, switch off Teams. Switch off your emails. Because even if you're on holiday or you took a leave, just try to focus on yourself. Because you might notice you might go on leave, then you turn out to travel. You've got this issue. But then, because you love what you do, you leave your resting time and then you try to focus. So I think like just put yourself first, and if it's a weekend and you know Kuti, this item is not that urgent, take some time off, you get a hobby, try to do a certain routine and get a hobby. There was a time I even tried doing marathons, but then I noticed running is not for me. So try different things, join a book club, go somewhere, visit places, and also play games. It actually helps the mind to relax. And as a developer, just interact with people. As developers, we just love to shut down. So we have to balance it, because sometimes work can just drown you. And the other thing you have to know, guys, if something happens to you and if you die, your company will replace you. So you just have to take care of yourself.
There's something that you mentioned when you say play games. I just want to know do you think there are people who are addicted to games?
Yes.
And can you say someone is addicted to Candy Crush? You know Candy Crush, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Do you think there are people who are addicted to Candy Crush?
I think they are addicted, guys. Oh, I don't know. I used to love Candy Crush. Each time you just get an opportunity to sit or touch your phone, it's just Candy Crush. I don't know, should I say it's an addiction? Or there's something that happens to the mind. It's like, you see how kids watch Coco Melon.
Yeah.
That's how games are. I don't know what happens to the mind or what it has, but yeah.
So apparently, some of my friends, like they say I'm addicted to Candy Crush.
Yeah.
I think
what level are you at now?
So
What level are you at?
3,000 something, 3,700 something. So there was a point that I stopped completely to play Candy Crush, but I think I'm back at it again. And I think even after recording this, that's the first thing that I'll check.
No, but it helps relaxes your mind and stuff.
Yeah, anyway, yeah. Okay, I think we need to have a podcast, a whole episode about these games.
Yeah.
And as a way to wrap up, I will first want to know, like, what's your perspective to the whole tech landscape of Zimbabwe, on the whole tech space of Zimbabwe, like, how developers are working, like literally everything. This is just an open. Yeah, you're just opening your mind on what to think about the whole tech space.
Okay, I feel like the whole tech space in Sim, it's actually growing rapidly this time. Yeah. And you see that there's something I've noticed. I don't know if you've noticed it.
Yeah.
There was a time data science was like an in thing. Everybody started doing data science.
Yeah.
Currently, cybersecurity seems to be like an in thing.
Yeah.
People seem to believe in data science and cybersec. But besides that, it's actually good. And you notice that tech people are increasing in SIM. And which is an advantage because with such cool minds, that means we have cool applications, we have cool ideas, we can just bring about cool things. But then you notice that we need to have more projects, more applications that will actually assist us in our country because we really need, because tech is supposed to make our lives easier, right? So we really need more applications. They are there. And some are being used, of which is actually really, really good. And then when it comes to Zim, I've noticed like most tech people are going out. Which is another worry of why are most of our people going out. You notice maybe here then tech guys are not being paid enough. But you notice the amount of work they actually put, it's a lot. The amount of hours they spend building something, it's a lot, and maybe the amount they get is not enough. So you notice some would want maybe to do a remote job. They get paid better, or the environment is actually better, or maybe they will just be like, no, let me just go to South Africa or whatever country. It's better, and
I think when you mentioned that whole thing, when you say we're doing remote jobs, the people who actually, I think a number of companies in Zimbabwe don't actually allow you to be working for a company A, then you do your remote jobs for other companies.
Yeah.
I think that's a whole thing that people like these corporates need to understand now. It doesn't even hurt. It's me who is suffering, not you. It's me who's suffering.
Like you're working the whole day and sleep for like an hour.
Yeah. So it doesn't even need. We need to allow these developers to do these things. Come on, guys.
And also you have to allow us to work from home.
Yeah, that's true. that's another thing. We don't really need to be in offices to work.
Yeah. And also even formal guys, we don't have to wear formal all the
Yes,
time, guys.
That's true.
But yeah, I feel like okay, when it comes to maybe working from home and working in the office, I feel like there has to be like a hybrid environment, because you might notice at the office, okay, the advantage of working at the office is interaction, exchange of ideas and stuff. And then at home, you're just focused on what you're doing and all that. And the other advantage of working from home is there are less distractions compared to be in the office. In the office, then I forget, I have to work. Later on, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to work. But I noticed I'm better at home than at the office. But then since our environments, you try to adjust. And also there's this thing, I think corporate companies should create a friendly environment, because to be honest, this work sometimes is depressing. So you need that environment that is friendly, relaxing, and cozy. I've seen, comparing Zim and other countries like South Africa, Kenya, they have those relaxing, cozy environments. Sometimes you have to take a nap, guys, to just recharge. But I think here they'll be like, I'm lazy or something, but it's the brain that is waking, so it needs to be refreshed. And when it comes to Zim, I like how people are growing. I like how we're seeing more people coming to tech events. I like how I'm seeing cool ideas. Like, we have youngsters, we have like so much cool ideas, and those ideas need to be supported. Those ideas need to grow. I think Tarangubata and help one another to bring about this idea, because you might notice idea emuna is it's for all of us. We have to support each other, even though guys, something later on. But we don't understand that. So I think as time goes on, we will be better. I think we just have to try to keep our devs in Zim and not drain it outside, because we need them.
That's quite a unique view, and I think I really subscribe to literally everything that we're saying. We need to keep these developers. We need to support each other in all these projects. I think if there is a technological solution that I will bring up, it won't be saving my problems only. It will save the problem of the country. So it's something that we really need to rewire our minds and consider.
No idea is small. You might notice, I've noticed people actually create something small. I remember I was talking to Mike, they were like, there was some funny dating app, but I can't remember what it was about. But the concept is actually, I can't say silly, but oh my gosh, seriously, so there's no silly idea that cannot work. People can actually pay for whatever small thing you've created. It was a national somewhere there.
That's true. So this brings us to the end of the episode, but we have actually we're about to, this is actually about to become a culture for us. On each and every episode, it's actually on each and every episode that we have a guest, there is a question that is left by a guest, and the guest, like, you will leave a question for the next guest without knowing who is the guest.
Okay.
So there is a question that was left for you, and you are
wow.
there is a question that was left for you, and you also leave a question for the next guest.
Okay.
So the question that was left for you by our previous guest, it goes as, what does innovation mean to you? To a simple small. What does innovation mean to you?
Okay, so innovation, what it means to me is creating something that will actually assist people and make their lives easier. Okay. Innovation doesn't have to be something that is, oh wow, I think we have this concept that innovation has to be something big. But anything that makes someone's life easier is actually innovation. Because there's nothing we can call too small, So each channel is small, it's actually going to assist someone, So yeah, that's mainly what innovation is.
Yeah. That's quite that's quite a view. That's quite a view. I think our previous guest had something that you was trying to lay out, and I think you quite answered his question, because there was an issue where you were saying people don't really quite understand the word innovation, and I think they're abusing it. But I think you quite understand that. So this brings us to the end of this episode, quite interesting episode 11. Yeah, so this was our first representation of the ladies. I get the first lady on the podcast.
You want more ladies?
So we want to see more of this, and I think there are quite a number of ladies who saying they're coming. So tell others who want to be part of us documenting the technological history of Zimbabwe to join us. This is the technological revolution. It's beginning now. Okay, so see you on the next episode. Subscribe, share, and like.
Yeah.